Yow, what up, nyakos? It's your buddy Philko here, reporting live from your mama's house, doing my thing as I usually do. About to go in on this whole crazy ass 48 hours of mine. Gotta start off. I think this video is gonna be in two parts of my crazy 48 hours. This is the first part. Now, you guys know, at least those who've been watching me for a while, you know I can't stay in Russia longer than 6 months according to the visa. I have to leave the country and come back at least once every 6 months. You know, that's how it is. Feel me? So with this, I tend to go to Kazakhstan because it's the closest country to me. You know, it's right there. It's right smack dab there. You know, it's about a 13-hour ride. So let's get to it. Now, remember, last time I went to Kazakhstan, you guys remember I was talking about how I was with a girl and I went there, this lady named Taya, and they kind of robbed us for money because I didn't really understand the rules. So they said I didn't register, I broke the law and whatever, so I had to give them some money. And you know, I gave them the money because, you know, Taya was scared and stuff, and I didn't want to bluff like, yeah, take me to jail when she was there, because, you know, she's a lady and she has kids at home. So I was like, all right, look, here's your money, I'm out, right? So I told Jason about this. Now, if you don't know Jason is my American friend. He does English teaching and stuff out here too. We hang out sometimes or whatever. So we decided to go together this time. But last time Jason went, he went by himself. No, he didn't go by himself. He went with another Russian guy, and everything was cool. Everything was smooth, right? And he had fun and whatever the fuck. So we decided to go together this time. We had to reset our visa. So we get our shit together, all that, whatever. We meet up. We talk. Me and Dre talk about girls and stuff in the restaurant. I'll tell you guys about that later. And me and Jason are just preparing to go and do what we got to do. So we go. We get into the train. Now, this is where everything just starts, right? We get into the train, and immediately I notice this is one of those carts that have drunk people in it. I can just hear the voices. I can hear how they're talking. I'm like, oh shit, you know, there's drunk people. So coupe is a certain part of the train where you go. There's 4 beds, 2 on the bottom, 2 on top, and you can close the door and it's kind of like private, but there's 4 people in there. You know, they have another thing called Platzkart. That's just shit's just crazy. I never do that. Never do Platzkart if you're a foreigner. You'll be around like 40, 50 Russian people. No privacy, nothing. Sleeping with their fucking socks off, dudes' dicks out and shit. You don't want to do Platzkart. You don't want to do Platzkart. It could get hot and smell. You don't want to do it. But coupe is good. Luxe is even better. We didn't have the luxe option. Luxe means luxury, and it's just for 2 people, and you got like an outlet and all this good shit, and they give you good service, really good service. But we didn't have that option. They didn't have it on the train. So we take coupe. We go into our thing, whatever. There's nobody in there with us. It's me and him on the bottom beds. Nobody else in there. Nobody else came to claim those 2 top beds. Now, I always say, me being black in Russia, I understand it more than anyone else. I understand being black in Russia more than anybody else. Other people don't fucking get certain things. They just don't get it. Regardless of who you are, how many black friends you are, you have no idea. You fucking don't. You think you do, but you don't. You know what I mean? And this isn't to Jason. This is to anybody, because I go through this shit all the time. Let's go walk around. Well, I'm fucking walking around. Sometimes I just want to be a regular person and walk around pointless fuckingly. People come, oh, can I have a photo? And it's okay. It's not bad. It's just sometimes I don't want to go through that. You know what I mean? So I put on my headphones and I go to sleep. Now, when I went to sleep, the door was open, but Jason was right next to me. He was right next to me on his bed, right? So I fall asleep, close my eyes, whatever, listening to DMX. I don't know how that happened. Oh, I was listening to my old music on my other phone. Pretty cool listening to old music that I used to listen to. And Jason leaves, I fall asleep, and something just made me open my eyes. I didn't hear anything. I didn't hear shit because I fucking, I was listening to music. And I open my eyes, and I see these 2 guys in the fucking coupe. These 2 fucking drunk gopniks in the coupe. In the motherfucker. I mean, they're literally inches away from me. One guy standing over looking at me. Inside the coupe. So immediately, for like 2 seconds, I'm staring at this guy hard body because I don't know his intentions. I don't know if he's there to steal something. I don't know if he's there to claim one of the 2 top beds. I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on. I don't know. So I'm grilling this guy like eye contact hard body for like 5 seconds straight. So when I looked at this guy, I didn't sense anything out of the ordinary. His friend, I didn't really like his friend at first, but him, he seemed to be okay. He sat on the bed. He smelled like underarm and beer. That's how I knew this guy didn't belong here. He came from another part of the train. He didn't belong where we were. He wandered his way over there. and he smelled like armpit and fucking beer and shit. And then we start talking and shit. Now, it's too late for me to say, hey, can you guys get out and shit? Because this dude's being nice and friendly, and Jason's not even there. And the door was open. So when you leave the door open, it kind of looks like an invitation for people to talk to you. You know, when they see you and you're black, they're going to want to talk to you when they're drunk. It always happens. You know what I mean? Like, something happened last night. I'll tell that in part 2. Like, drunk guys spoke to me and it was cool, but when they spoke to other people, it was a fight. You know, I'll explain that to you later. But, so they start talking and shit, whatever. And then turn out the guy, the main guy, he was fucking cool as shit. You know, he understood English. He didn't speak English much, but when he would repeat something I said, he'd almost have no accent. It was pretty fucking impressive. He was a cool guy. He was just so interested in, like, you know, other countries and stuff like that, and learning other languages. But he said, like, none of his friends are into it. They laugh at him about it. You know, they don't care about it. They just want to drink and do crazy stuff. But he actually wants to learn other languages and travel, and none of his friends understand him. You know, so he actually came out to be a nice guy, except for the fact that he smelled like he put on beer deodorant. No, but other than that, he was a pretty cool guy. You know what I mean? Mixed a little bit of sweat. You know what I mean? But other than that, he's a pretty cool guy. So fucking Jason comes back. He's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you know, door's open. So Jason sits down. We start all talking. Jason's getting annoyed as shit. Jason was so fucking annoyed. And Jason's a big dude. So it was obvious that Jason wasn't having it. So we spoke for like 45 minutes. We had good conversation too. Me and the dudes were talking about which city in Russia has the girls with the biggest butts. I couldn't believe we were having this conversation. So we actually ended up having a fucking ball. It went from me laying down and talking to these guys like, you know, what do you want? From sitting up in my bed laughing, giving high fives, and we were having a blast. It was awesome, you know. They weren't there to steal shit. He was just kind of drunk. He saw a black guy, because that's what happens. You understand? They're going to see a black person. They're going to want to fucking talk. They're going to want to talk. I'm telling you. You understand? They're going to want to fucking talk. So if you're a black dude, you don't feel like being bothered with people, what you gotta do is close your fucking door in the coupe at all times, so people don't see you and come bother you. Even the police officers sometimes want to talk to you, and they're curious and stuff because you're a black guy. Sometimes they're even nice to you because you're a black guy, and I'm gonna get to that next. So they leave, whatever, and so this comes, right? So I told Jason that sometimes, last time when the police tried to rob me, I was with Taya, whatever, the girl, but this time I'm not really worried about it, but we gotta be careful about what we do. So, the Russians, we first was Russian customs, that was a breeze. Then it was Kazakhstanian customs, that was a breeze too. And I asked the officer, I said, officer, do we have to register in Kazakhstan? I asked him in Russian. I was Perevodchik. I was the translator for Jason. It was funny, I was translating. And it was unbelievable. Don't laugh, motherfucker. It's funny, I was translating and I was doing a good job. I was his translator. I did a really good job. So I asked him, like, do we have to register? He was like, no. If you stay less than 15 days, you don't have to register. It's the law. I said, got it. I'll remember that, right? So he stamps our immigration cards. We go to Kazakhstan. Anything interesting? Oh, yes. Oh, my God. Jason. Look, Jason is a legend. I cannot believe this dude did this. Yo, we're in Kazakhstan where we have to relax for like 5 hours. And, like, these people are just Asian. You know, they all basically look Asian. They all kind of look alike, you know. They all kind of look, you know, they look alike because they're all Asian, whatever. They just look alike, right? So, yo, this dude. So, as we're walking around, whatever, we see this one girl, you know, Asian like everyone else, and she's wearing that doctor-like mask because she's sick or something. You know, the mask that covers the mouth and the nose, the white one. She's wearing that shit. And I'm like, what the fuck is this about? You know, this starting to look like China. And then we go into the store. Me, Jason, and that girl also goes to the store. And tell me in pure English, loud and clear, you won't believe what I heard Jason say. Jason walks up to this girl, starts the conversation by saying, excuse me, are you Chinese? I left the store. I could not believe. The fucking security guard in the store looked at me like I was crazy. I'm like, I don't know that nigga. And I just left the store. I could not believe he said that. But apparently, according to Jason, he was just being nice. You know, he's trying to flirt, you know, start a conversation. But I could not believe he said that. Are you Chinese? I'm like, oh my fucking God. I love this guy. You know, he's like a white dude from a different point in time, you know, from a different time than me and whatever. But yo, that shit was hilarious. Are you Chinese? I damn near peed myself. I told him I loved him for that, because that's never going to leave my brain. So we hang out, we fall asleep in a restaurant, we're eating, whatever, blah, blah, blah. The restaurant didn't have a toilet, it was strange, but they did have a bathroom, there's no toilet in it, it's like a hole in the floor, weird. So we do that, and then, all right, now here goes the action. So he asks the girl if she's Chinese. We get on the train, right? This one's different. We have 2 guys in the coupe with us. So me and him on the bottom, 2 guys on top, right? No homo. So we're in the train, and the train starts moving, and then the police are on. The Kazakhstan. I'm not sure if the train was moving yet. No, it wasn't moving yet. So the police get on. As soon as we get on, and we noticed the ladies who were working there were holding our tickets. They wouldn't let us have our tickets. Usually they give you your tickets back. They were holding our tickets. Police come in, and this time I'm ready. I'm ready because I don't have a girl with me. You know, I don't have to worry about Jason like that. He a grown ass man, so I could be myself, and I was myself. So this is what happened. They get on. They start questioning us, like, blah, 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 what are you doing here, whatever. I'm like, oh, blah, 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 just answering. I'm like, hey, I just came to reset my visa, and said the same for Jason. So then they say, come out the coupe. So they call us out. They call us to the front of the train, and this is fucking, to the middle of the cart, the end of the cart, sorry. This is the people you see in front of you, the Kazakhstanian police. These are some grimy ass niggas, full breed vultures, trying to come up and still eating around roaches. That's these niggas right here. So they take us, and immediately they go for Jason. They make him open his bag. They're searching him. And, you know, Jason's a real big guy, so he had his hands up, like, as they were searching him. And Jason's really big, so, you know, I made a joke. I know they didn't understand it, but Jason understood it. I was like, come on, man, his hands are up. Don't shoot him. Fat lives matter. Jason even laughed. That shit was awesome. Only Americans would really get that, but it was funny. Fat lives matter. It was amazing. So they're searching him. They found this little unit tool or some shit he brought. It's like, I don't know what the fuck this shit was. It's like, I think it was a /weapon/tool. And so they're like, we're going to take this. And I'm like, what the fuck you bring that for, Jason? Only you would bring that shit. Of course they're going to take it. Why the fuck are you going to bring that? You know, I don't understand why he did that. So then, so they search him. They go through his shit, everything. Then it's my turn. They didn't search me. They didn't look through my shit. They just started saying, okay, we have to bring you to the jail because, we have to bring you to the jail because you didn't register. And I was like, well, hold up. I asked the captain on the way here in Russian, and I asked him if we need to register within 15 days. He said no. And the dude was like, okay, what do you do? I said, I'm a blogger in Russia. I have 150,000 subscribers. That's what I do. And then they start talking to each other. Then he got nervous. So I go, what? Dude, I know you want money. What do you want? Just like that. But in Russian, I'm like, what do you want? You want money, right? What do you want? So then there's a gesture in Russian where you pluck your jaw. You kind of pluck your jaw. And it means like to drink or get drunk. This dude starts plucking his jaw. He goes, pajausta, nada, pajausta. And I'm like, seriously? Wow. So I take out my money. I give him my money. He gives me my money back. He took Jason's money. They took Jason's. Now, Jason's a white guy. You know, so I guess they felt more related to me. So they said, okay, thank you, spasiba, just fucking left the train. This is the police. So they didn't take my money. They didn't search me. They threatened to take me to jail, but I called their bluff. I was like, fuck it, let's go. I grabbed my bag. I said, let's go. Because I know they're not going to do it. I know the game now. I know they're not going to do it. I don't have a hysterical woman next to me now. Now I'm with another grown man. If we go to jail, we can hold our own. I'm like, let's go. You know, I got my shit all right here. They didn't do it. You know, but it was kind of fucked up. And I mean, I may be talking about it and laughing, but it's fucked up because they did take Jason's money, and I didn't like that. But it wasn't that much. They probably took, like, in Russian, in American dollars, probably like $26. And then they just left the fucking train, you know. And then some other crap happened, like when the Russian police are good to me and Jason. They're always good to me, and they're good to Jason too. So I never have problems with Russian police. I know way too many lawyers in Russia to go through anything like that in Russia. In Kazakhstan, I don't know anybody. But in Russia, that's just not happening, you know? So we crossed the border, we're in Russia, police come, everything was normal, except they forgot to give us our immigration documents. They're like, we don't have any, so we gotta get our immigration papers tomorrow and shit. That's gonna be a fucking headache. And that's really it, man. The rest of the ride back, I was so anxious to get off the fucking train. I just had to get out of there, man. I don't know why. I was just so pissed off that I was in there so long. That's not like me. Usually I love trains. I could sit there all day, but this time I wanted to get the fuck out of there, man. I was freaking out. It's like I was claustrophobic or something. It was wild. And that's really it, man. It was crazy. Fuck the police, man. They were racist, though. They were definitely racist to Jason because he was white. That's the only reason I could see. Because even before they knew I was a blogger, when they were searching him and stuff, they didn't do it to me. They only did it to him. You know, that's kind of fucked up. And this one Russian guy in Kazakhstan, when he saw me, he said to the I think it was the worker, like staff, like terrorist. I'm like, are you serious? I looked at him, I'm like, really? Fucking terrorist? I gotta shave. And I shaved a little today because I have way too much beard. I'm like, this dude might have a point. I might have to shave, looking like a terrorist and shit. But yeah, that's really it, man. Yo, if you come to Russia and you do a visa run to Kazakhstan, expect that hustle. And even I forgot to mention, even after the hustle happened, other Kazakhstanian police came. Another guy came, and he was about to do the same thing. But the officer who already tried to hustle us walked by him and said, we did it already. Get out. We did it already. Like, these dudes are straight, yo, they're fucking grimy. He told them, we did it already. Let's go. I was like, wow. These some grimy ass, yo, I've never seen it this bad. If I could only imagine, now I'm going to say this before I go. If American police, maybe they don't do hustles like this, but if they're that kind of sneaky, and that's what you guys are talking about, I understand why so many people hate the police. If they're that type of sneaky, you know, maybe not the same scheme, but if they're really sneaky like that, I see exactly what you guys are talking about, because I didn't do shit to anybody to deserve, and Jason didn't do shit to anybody to deserve what he got to him, you know? So I feel you on that. Fuck the police. That's what Jason was saying. Fuck the police. It was fucking hilarious. And all right, man, that was it. That's part one. Part two is what happened when I got off the train back to Novosibirsk. That's gonna be crazy. Yo, that's gonna be crazy. So stay tuned, man. I gotta go play football, and I'll be back later. I'll fill you guys in. But life is wild, man. And I'm out, Nicholas. Later.